Ayesha Curry, once again disrespecting her husband in Stephen Curry. Curry, I mean, but I should call him Curry since he's obviously the woman in the relationship. The battered woman, dare I say. Now, I wanted to use this particular story to highlight another example of why marriage is dying, and also another example of the woke hierarchy, where within that hierarchy, feminist females like an Ayesha Curry are allowed to be as disrespectful as one can imagine towards their men. And guess what? The men amongst them won't say shit about it because they're a bunch of pussy whipped cuckold liberal men as well, which is why it's always comical when they try to speak sort of any bravado against the conservative side of things when their women clearly own them. Now, this all sparked up once again. She went on a podcast and basically, to sum it up, she talked about how Steph Curry wasn't her type back in school days and how he was claiming he was going to be a high school coach, a basketball coach, something like that, which basically made her sound extremely jealous and envious of him. And then later on, she gets spotted dressing like a prostitute at a Drake concert, being in a photograph with Drake. And he has his reputation with women young and old. And so that was just another spit and smack in the face. And as we know, if roles were reversed, not only would it be called out in an aggressive manner, but people would encourage Ayesha Curry to not only call him out, but divorce him. But since it's the woman doing it, the man, Steph, is expected to be quiet and silent about it and carry on in the marriage. That's why I say not only is liberalism something that's not to the advantage of so-called white people in general, but there's nothing for heterosexual men either, no matter your so-called race, because this is the sort of thing that they champion. Women, girlfriends, wives, daughters, what have you, constantly disrespecting their male counterparts and disrespecting them publicly. And this is just another example of it. And the chipmunk faced chick, a few years ago, she presented the image of being a good girl. When she criticized how women were dressed scantily clad. And now here she is doing just that. What that also shows you, though, is that in order to be an accepted female within the mainstream media space, you have to dress and act like a prostitute. And she was just being, a silent good wife, dressed appropriately, she wouldn't have her name out here the way that it is. And believe it or not, despite having all the money in the world, these chicks still don't get enough unless their names are out there as well. And she's just another example of this. And she most definitely got him in a trap because they have multiple kids under 18. In the state that he got married in, he'll be giving her most of his money, if not half. So, pathetic, but this is what dudes like Steph Curry ask for.